Hello there, greetings. I was going to do a live video, but I figured I'd try something. I'll go back to the old way for a little bit. I might do another live one, who knows, on Friday, possibly. We'll see. All right. Say I have a slight announcement in some regard. It should be in the title. Will be in the title of. See, about last night, I got like a couple of downloads. I made a decision too. I'll make that. We'll go into that also. Of basically what the title says, when it says alien, was it projections? Now I understand this isn't 100%. 10 to or 10 to 20 years or 10 to 30 years, 20 to 30 years, 10 to either way. 10 to 20 years. I think I wrote that down. 10 to 20 years. I put 20. No, it's 10 to 20 years. So I remember what I'm talking about here. I made a list, not really, but 10 to 20 years of alien projections. What does that mean? It can give or take. It might be 30 years. It depends. It's basically obvious on an individual level. Your third eye will open up over time, at least your, however you want to perceive your third eye, to see energies around you and become more aware of who's around you. As more of the angelic energies become more known in society, there's a possibility, not 100%, but what I saw was 10 to 20 years, maybe longer, of more alien sightings, but more like beings, like a group, like Pleiadians. And you just like a projection, meaning you'll see their group, I'm not sure where, but somewhere safe, and just feel their presence and actually physically see them, but not entirely clear. Not entirely 100%. So it's that's what I saw. Anything's possible, and I do. Yeah, I feel like, let's see, because as I say this, it kind of can say it can kind of connect to the future, at least what some people are saying already. And this isn't even live, but I feel some of the vibrations of pull back from humanity to a certain degree. Depends on who it is. Of just, but either way, I'm not sure what's going to happen between now and then. Over time, there'll be, who knows? It can be, I feel like I'm talking about Planet X. Not really. This is more of a pleasant vibration. Anything can happen, but it does seem like it's coming a little bit more likely here and there. Nothing's 100%, but the likelihood it's there. Let's put it that way. It all depends on us. What matters is our energy, our movement, our decision. In the long run, of course, there's a lot of negativity in the world. As you can see, it makes it difficult for a visitation. Realize also the alien energies are very much, they are us. They are part of we are part of their DNA to some degree. They're part of ours, depending on who we connect to. And all of this does rattle off into, yes, you'll see angelic beings when you're ready, but the alien vibrations do definitely want to connect with us. And the likelihood is a high possibility, of course, like to say anything happens between now and then. So I see them on the ground. I don't see their ships. I mean, yeah, their ships in the sky will have a moment, of course, but it feels like you more see them in your mind's, not entirely clear, but you won't necessarily need to see them through your third eye. I believe will become more clear over time. Take it with a grain of salt, but I figure I'll put it out there. I did do a prediction about Donald Trump winning the presidency, and here we are. So the doubters are going to doubt, the haters are going to hate, whatever it is. But anything is possible, of course, between now and then. Anything is possible. As for, let's see, Bashar said about all going to connect to a dream. In time, yes. In time, we will connect to the same dreams. I mean, as for it's like a light bulb opening up over time, yes. Anything is possible. Realize that those that wish for this connection, it is possible. For those, I do realize, I feel it. Many of these spiritual communities, however you want to look at it, you don't agree with them, you agree with them, whatever. It's all part of spiritual growth. Doesn't matter. You don't like this guy, you like this person, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. Not really. Who cares, really? Yeah, who cares? But what matters is a lot, at least I feel in the spiritual community, aren't really ready for this stuff physically and physically. Some are, most aren't. They talk about it here at channeling, it's not ready for it, but you never know. That can change. Talking about it, hearing the, sometimes hearing the message, but you never know. That's it does seem like we're getting closer to it. We will always get day by day. We will get closer to it, and that might freak people out to a certain degree. There's nothing to be afraid of, but we're going to come to that environment eventually. And so, of course, I feel the backlash of that. But of course, I feel the welcoming energy to those that do feel it, and I feel with you. However, I have it right now. But it doesn't mean you have to have a ship come down and take us off to Pluto or somewhere. It's just to break the ice. So, yeah, as I said, this can change, can become sooner or later. Who knows? I'm putting it out there. Yes, I did a video about the year 2000 years of the full healing, and people are going to backlash from that, which is fine. But as you see the negativity of humanity, it's not pleasant. Not all of humanity, but there is a good amount of it. It's not exactly a safe zone worldwide yet. I don't think it is. We still have to lock our doors, lock our cars, stuff like that. But things can change. The government system, not great. At least the U.S., not great. But there are some areas. Sometimes I've seen everything else change and the government changes later. And I've seen also scenarios where the government becomes better and everything changes around it. So who knows? I am seeing more of that reality where the government becomes a little bit less ridiculous. Yeah. Well, who knows when that'll happen. But, it's like a bunch of children. And some of them, and obviously the government, don't think much of us. I don't think they do. I don't think so. You get that, God complex, or whatever you want to call it. Some do. Yeah, I don't think they're all, I imagine you can connect to that and say, I don't really think much of us civilians. I don't think they do. So there's a lot of healing that needs to be done there. There's a lot of distress there, of course. There's a lot of worldwide healing, but definitely for alien physical contact. Obviously, this can happen to you on a general basis, on your own, anytime. Who knows when that'll happen. And this isn't a PR sale or anything like that. I'm trying to get more attention or blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm getting. Obviously, on an individual basis, that's different. You can have it tomorrow, right now, whenever, feel more presence. Who knows? Who knows? A little bit easier said than done for some, but you never know. You never know. At least from my place, at least it's not my mission here to see them physically, but it is put the seed there that it can happen. It's just, I don't normally look around for them, feel them around, but obviously they are around. But it puts this idea out there also for physical connection. It's like to open the veil. I imagine others have said it in the past, but it does seem like the energy of that's getting stronger. But as they say, it takes time. It might be 50 years from now, but either way, might as well put. It feels like many are obviously tired of the third dimension environment. Jeez. And so it's cutting through the matrix. It is allowing more positive timelines to come in, have you more different outlook on life. As some other communities are seeing the damnation of humanity, whatever the, not Planet X, but things of that sort, economy crashing. Doesn't mean that has to, I don't think that's going to, see, people say I'm negative, and yet I'm not saying any of that. I don't get it. I kind of give up on what others think when they at least don't care much for me. I kind of give up on it, so it doesn't matter. I'm not focusing on it, doesn't matter. But it's just sometimes it's like, whatever floats your boat, don't care. Anyway, as for physical connections, anything is, we're getting closer to it. That's the bottom line. If you're not ready for it, that's cool. If you're ready for it, anything is possible. If I'm going to have anything, I don't have seeing it. I got too much going on. Oh yeah, the other thing. Oh, let me just continue with this a little bit. I'm not sure there's any more. I'm going to repeat myself like 10 times. Yeah, because some are fully ready for it, and then they get disappointed and they don't see anything. So it takes time. Usually it's your third eye vibration. All it depends on the environment around you. They have to go, it does seem like they have to go to the government energies. It's going to get easier. Not to say it's going to be that easy, but over time it will. It does seem, basically their presence is going to become known in some way, somehow. Maybe the next 10 years. They'll just let the sky, the floor, fly around. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It just feels like I see their projection of themselves. They show themselves, I believe it's more Palladian. It's human. Might be Yael. I see more Palladian, but it might be whatever it is. I see a group of them in a friendly manner, and then they just vanish. They might say something. They might not. Everybody's all scared. Well, obviously they know that, so it's little by little by little by little. It might be just one time. They might do it, and that'll be the end of it. Who knows? Yeah, because there will be mass hysteria. Of course, a lot of people say it's fake. Just this world. It's just, I know. It's just stop the world. I want to get off. Yeah, tell me about it. We're all here for a reason. We all have our, we're here for a purpose, and sometimes we kind of put a big question mark on that. We're here to bring more of the ascension process of a positive earth. And as I do feel a lot in the spiritual community, they're not ready for this stuff. I feel pullback from them. I feel it, and they throw knives and whatever at me, and that's fine, but I just feel it. I've heard it from some of them too. It's just, but we are getting closer to that vibration of opening, little by little, little by little. Also, this is what the timeline changed. I was up to like 2:30 in the morning last night because I'm going to start, not now, I think I mentioned this earlier, but do channeled writings. Should be quite interesting. That should be a lot more detail in the channelings alone. Usually I'm too tired already. I bring in a being, I'm just sometimes, webinars are fine, but this seems to be, it's going to be a lot more, feels like with the writing is going to be a lot more detailed. Take it with a grain of salt. It will be free. I was going to post it on my site as I go along. Who knows when that'll be. Probably, obviously, next year. You never know. I might have something before that. Just a channel message in text form, not through video. It feels like it's going to be a lot better, at least for where I'm going with it. I'm going to Atlantis, Lemuria, other places. universe creations. Believe it or not, I don't really care. That's what's coming through. It most likely would be, it'd just be channeled writings, and it'll go into a book form eventually. So I'll put like chapters or sections on my site, on my website, and it'd be free to read, and eventually go into book form. And it feels like, it's going to reach a person. It's there to reach. Others want to just, that's fine. But it definitely feels like it's going to be more in depth than any channeling I have done. It's going to go into more of a, take it for what you feel. It's more information, and it is going to be a lot more detailed than anything I've done video-wise. And because I've cut back quite a bit for good reason, because I'm worn out. I'm doing other things on the side, and have no life pretty much, but that's all right. Do what I can video-wise, answering questions, and have work. I have to go to work and try not to screw that up. That's not, not employee of the month, that's for sure. Usually I'm walking around like a zombie because I'm doing one thing after that. I don't stop. But see, they're doing the cartoon stuff. That will continue. That doesn't take a whole lot of time for me, but the writings will definitely. It does seem like, I felt it. Like I did the tarot cards. I'll go into that in a second. The tarot or the oracle cards, things of, that was a channeled message for that. So the text writings are going to be probably the next phase, and that is going to be intense. I already got kind of a glimpse of it, and it's going to be heavy stuff from what I see. As for, different dimensions, different realities, how, I'm not sure if we're going to origins of Earth and things of that sort, we'll see. Probably to a certain degree, it's different perspectives. Everybody has their own perspective. I'm not sure if everyone's going to agree with this. It doesn't matter. When you go into the fourth dimension, fifth dimensions, everyone has their different perspectives, and not everybody is agreeing with that either, as they are here. So it's the same. A little bit more different, maybe easier, and sometimes more intense, depending. Of course, you can open up someone else's reality and go in there and see what their point of view is. So that should be quite fascinating. So just different, and we'll see. If it doesn't resonate with them, that's fine, but if it does, excellent. It might be also another activator energy. As for the oracle cards are also an activator, an energy activator, and this might be the same. Probably. Yeah, it goes, what I feel is going to be, like raw energy, raw vibrational information that not everyone's going to be ready for, which is fine. It should be, I don't know the whole detail. People aren't going to be like, it's fine. Doesn't matter. So it's all good. Okay, all right. Going to, this is ivantar.com. If you're wondering who I am, we have private sessions. This is the calendar you can find here. Next week is pretty well open. Google Hangouts, Skype, Zoom, and channeling by phone. We also have you submit a question, and it takes about 1 to 5 days, maybe 10 days. So I'm trying to go as quickly as possible, but we're doing what we can here. Also, we have the Jake comic. These are the oracle cards. But no, I just keep clicking on stuff, and this will take you to a playing card site. We also have Spirit Social, submit a question, healing, past life regression. Message from Yeshua, channeling consulting, 5-minute healing. Channeling a spiritual connection, one question from Day Chakra, healing from a day, soul pain from Stephanie, joke breaking from Miguel. We also have Taller Studios as the cartoons. I don't have all the cartoons on here. I post them as I can, but I have the Jake comic here, and you can read online, and here's different other methods you can connect with. I'll add more of the other cartoons here too. And it has all the list of everything should be here. It's all free to download if you like, and post it anywhere if you feel. Okay. Great. You can't click on them. What is the point here? Gosh, come on, people. I didn't test that part. So, something else I have to fix. All right, so thank you for joining us. As for anything else, as for a message from, oh yeah, that's right. Anything from anybody. Let's see, yeah, different perspectives of understanding. Basically, yeah, we're going to more over time, not fast, but yeah, over time it would be more of the presence is going to become more apparent for those that are ready for it. Let's put it that way. If you're not ready for it, it's okay. Don't worry about it. For those that are really welcoming your friend energies, it's not to say you're going to see them instantly or the next 5 years. Who knows? Anything's possible. But it does feel like it's going to become more the norm. It might have to have events happen before this happens. I don't know. I mean, some of you, I feel, I was going to mention this before, because before I started doing this, right before it, I can feel them moving around. Like they're on a ship, or I can feel their presence, so they can activate that, obviously. And it wasn't just one of several. There was Zetas, but also I felt the Nordics. I felt their ship flying. That was great. I mean, that's all awesome. But feeling a ship, I mean, actually feeling it, and you can feel it even move, is just amazing. And they can tell us that stuff. So, I mean, they have the power for that. So, anything's possible. So, you just gotta, so go with the flow, have an open mind. If you wish to connect, like I said, who knows when it'll happen, but the likelihood is getting stronger and will continue to get stronger over now 10 years. Yeah, like I said, seeing him in physical form is, yeah, who knows. Well, eventually it'll become easier. I'm not sure. It might be certain events happening across the earth as for more free food and more just less poverty, just more, I don't know, just more balance. And that's what we need. We need quite a bit of that. But that balance energy will make it, I mean, and be easier for them to be seen here for sure. Obviously, we have a lot of automatic weapons here, guns, fear. All that has to find some kind of closure. Like Hollywood's going through a lot of stuff. Nobody saw that coming. Anything's possible. So, like, the government might, like we see U.S. might have an internal healing, like events happening that we don't see publicly, like we see in Hollywood scandals. That's what's going on with the sexual situation. But it might be happening in it has happened in government publicly, but it can happen also secretly. Also, I'm not aware of, but who knows that about that. But you know, there's all plenty of secret stuff that happens there. Like 90% of it's secret. If we get to 10%, that's probably should be secret too. So I want to put that out there. I was going to do a channel. I'm not sure if it is. I think that is the channeling for tonight. Like I said, that time can change. Well, remember the environment you're in also. Obviously, if you go to Sedona or somewhere that's a lot more higher frequency, it's a different situation. Might not be able to see them, but you definitely feel them. And of course, there are Native Americans who can, of course, they live out in the middle of nowhere probably. They can pull in, they can call in a ship and stuff like that. That's freaking awesome. So, I've been told about that. That's great. And of course, my mentor is Native American. He told me that. He was freaking out when he told me that. And before I knew about any of this, I was asking him about aliens. I remember, when I first started, we started doing, I don't think I mentioned this, when I started doing psychic circles or going to go to them, I did readings for a couple of people. It was good. That was good. The mentor is Eric. It's kind of, well, he runs like a business, so anyway. But I asked him about aliens because he's teaching us how to open ourselves up and everything. And he was kind of freaking. He wasn't comfortable with it, and I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I was just always curious about it, but I never really connected to it. And so obviously now I'm here. I'm doing this. It's like I never saw this coming. And when he heard I was doing this, he wasn't very kind. So I'm used to backlash. It's like, geez. So what I mean? And this is a professional psychic. Does this stuff professionally, like 5 days a week. He can even travel around. He has enough clientele where he can move around. And I told him I connect to aliens, and it's like, hang up the phone or drop the mic or whatever I call it. Goodbye communication. And then probably if he brought this up to his clientele, he'd probably say goodbye to his business clientele. Probably. Then again, you never know. So either way, it's all good. Of course, I went to the last circle I went to. Some were kind of curious about. I told them about what I did. I haven't been there in a long time. Of course, it's gone now. And some were kind of curious about it. So either way, energy there is kind of heavy. It's usually it is. Well, when I connect, it is kind of it's a heavy energy, but it's good. But some I just don't need. I feel like that's okay. So if it's too hot, it's too hot. What is it? Too hot? The kitchen or whatever you call it. So but with the a physical alien connections, I'm not just saying this to. I don't think it's going to help me get more popular anyway. It's just I get the opposite of that. So I don't think that's not either way. That's what I'm getting. And so I said that thing about Trump. Of course, this is way down the line. But of course, the Trump thing worked. Wasn't sure during election night. It's like, I think he's going to win, but I'm not sure. But obviously it did. And I'm not going to go into that. But as for more alien presence energies, it's going to, I'm not saying this just for the sake of saying it. We're getting closer to that. The ways to go into the psyche eventually. You're not be able to call it a bunch of crazies for a while. We already are, but it's going to increase, which is fine because it's funny when we see what humanity is living. It's like, do you know that you're in slavery? Economic slavery. You don't know? Okay, that's fine. But that is slavery, though. You know that, right? No? Okay. So there's a lot of healing to be done here. As for how that's going to, the alien presence, how it's going to heal that, there's obviously several events that have to happen for that. I don't have the answers for that. I have no idea. Some of it's government. You'd be surprised of, the American government has like how many people on welfare? So that's not a negative, that's a positive. If you take that away, what do you have? Not a good situation. So, that's, we don't have food lines. We had one through the 2008. That was pretty bad. So, it is working for the people. And if you don't care much for it, it still is. And so there's it could be just as the government says, I don't know. Who knows? The government's not here to save us, but it has an influence, let's put it that way. But as for what's going to come to change things, who knows? Things are going to change eventually. They always do. People don't like change. But who knows what's in the future. Obviously, the beings that come through, the alien beings, have to be vague. Maybe it is the same world, and I get that too, to a certain degree. Only so much they can do. It all depends. It's just that it's up to us to change things, and it might be easier said than done, but doesn't mean it can't be done. All right, that's all I got for tonight. So much love, blessings, and take care. See you tomorrow.